Well guys, I'm not working on a Gravely tonight. This is a Giant Mow 48-inch Walkbehind. It's got a 14 horse Kohler command, and it's got some problems with the valve cover. Let me show you what it is here. There's some bolts that hold the valve cover together here, and two of these bolts, the threads that they go into, are stripped. So what's happening is that it's leaking oil on the muffler every time I run it, and the muffler goes underneath the thing down here, so it drips out of here right on the muffler, and all it does is make a smoke show. You see all the oil that's all over the base of the mower there from that, and it's really ridiculous. So I bought a used head and from eBay over the winter, and I never got a chance to put it on or anything, but now that I see how it works, I'm kind of wondering if I can just drill these out and tap them to a 1/4 inch. The bolts that are in here are metric right now. They're not standard thread, but I think if I was able to, now that I can see how it works, I think I might be able to thread them and not have to change the head. So I think I'm going to take that valve cover off and we'll investigate a little bit. Alright, so I got the valve cover off, and the two holes that are stripped are this one and the one on the bottom here. So if we look at this for reference over here, this is the one on the bottom. It's got plenty of meat in it, and the one on the side also has plenty of meat on it. So I think what I'm going to do is go inside and get my caliper here and measure this and see. I'm not sure if there's enough meat to go to 1/4 inch or not. It's pretty close to this, and I don't think if I was to go to like a 5/16 that there's enough meat in this metal. Maybe there is, but I don't think there is, you know. I guess at this point I got nothing to lose, like I was saying before. That's yeah, but this thing here is really worn down, but yeah, I guess we got nothing to lose. That's the only way I can look at it. So anyways, this motor runs good, and you can see that there's oil here right on these valve lifters here, and this whole thing just seals with, you know, like a silicone. I had a blue RTV on there before, so my thought was I'll scrape the gasket off, I'll drill these out, I'll put some new silicone on there and tighten it up, and try it maybe tomorrow night. So let me see if we can drill it out. Well, let's see here. This is a number 7 drill bit, which is what you would use for a 1/4 20 bolt. And this is this metric bolt, and they're almost exactly the same diameter. So I don't think it's going to work, but I'll try it with the 1/4 inch. And if I put this through and it's not hitting on anything, or if there's still threads left from the old one, I guess the only thing I can try to do is go to 5/16. But again, I think 5/16 isn't going to work because there's not enough meat in there, but we'll give this a shot. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The drill bit pretty much fits in the hole without even drilling. So I don't really know that tap's going to work, but oops, like we said, we got nothing to lose here, so we'll give it a shot. Alright, so we got the 1/4 20 tap in there, and it is getting something. Not very much, but I guess the question is it enough to hold? It's not going to take a lot of what do you call it, a lot of torque to hold this valve cover on at all. It's just I mean, there's some chips in there. So I think what I'm going to do is scrape this gasket off, and maybe we'll see if we can get this thing back together. Maybe I'll put the cover on without any cement right now and try to tighten the bolts and see if they'll tighten. And if they do, then we're good. If they don't, then we'll go to the 5/16. Well, for a test run, I just put in the 2 bolts and they torque up fine. So we're going to take it apart and clean up that gasket surface and squirt some new silicone on there and put it back together tight. Well, I got it loaded up good with the black RTV silicone here, and now I'm going to put that valve cover on there, and we'll hope for the best. So I'll let it dry overnight, and then hopefully tomorrow morning will be good. So let's see what happens. Well, we got it all back together now, so we'll just wait, like I said, and see what happens tomorrow evening after it dries for 24 hours or whatever. And, you know, hopefully it won't leak anymore. So we'll see. Alright guys, it's a day later now, so that silicone should be dry. I'm going to try to start this machine. It hasn't been started for, geez, probably 8 or 9 months, so we'll see what happens. Oh, 5 mice just came out of it. Well, I took one pass around the yard, and there's so much mouse nest in this thing, it's catching on fire. So I'm going to have to take the shroud off it and clean out the mouse nest. And I think there's some crap in the bowl of the carb because it just won't run smooth either. So I'm going to have to drop the bowl and clean that out. But man, I can't believe that. The other night when I was working on it, there's no mice in it. Now there's a freaking mouse that had like 5 babies stuck to it. I should have just stepped on him and squashed him. Little son of a bitch. Anyways, I was being nice. Well, the freaking mice made a nice little nest around the magneto here. Hopefully they didn't chew the lead going to the spark plug. That would really suck. That'd be an expensive issue to fix. But damn, those little bastards, huh? Let me see if I can clean this out and get it back together. Man, it's all packed down around the side fins here and everything, so I'm just going to take my backpack blower and try to blow all that crap out of there. Alright, well, I cleaned everything out really good here. You gotta be careful. All down the side of the fins here, there's all crap packed in there. Underneath the flywheel, the whole thing smells like mouse piss. All they did was chew this wire here, which is the kill switch wire, luckily. I'm just going to take some tape here and tape it up so that there's no chance of it grounding out against anything under the frame. So I'll do that and I'll put it back together and we should be good. Alright, so I got the bowl off the carb here, and just as I thought, it's all full of ethanol crystals. All these little gummed up little particles are the ethanol. So what happens is that when you start driving the thing around the yard, those things start kicking up and they block up the carb and it doesn't work right. So hopefully I can get this gasket back in there and get it back together, because you know that these things never work right again. So I'm going to clean up this bowl a little bit, and I'll squirt a little bit of carb cleaner in there, and we'll put it back together, and I bet it will run perfect.